So what is going on, guys? This is Taste and I'm bringing you another Black Ops 2 commentary here on the Endeavour Gaming channel, this time featuring gameplay from LJC, and he is playing some kill confirmed on slums, as you can see, and he's going to do exceptionally well. This is an absolute landslide of a game. But today I want to talk to you about a Facebook status I read from the one and only Blind Tree from Endeavour Gaming itself, and I'll just read it to you quickly, hopefully. I'm not very good at reading things out loud, but let's see how it goes. One must enjoy the music their friends enjoy or is in the top 20 official charts. One must have short hair as a man. One must wear clothes only specified in fashion by peers. One must get a job. One must seek a lifelong partner in which marriage and children must be a possibility. One must know and be able to quote popular movies. One must listen to their parents. One must not take drugs except for alcohol. One must shave facial hair and apply expensive aftershave before going to a nightclub. One must enjoy football or rugby. One must not break the law unless it's parking in the disabled spot at a supermarket. And one must conform at all costs, because being popular is everything, right? And in case you hadn't noticed by the way that I was going through there were sort of commandments to sort of how to make people like you. The sort of how we try and have a lifestyle into which the whole goals of what we do is to try and make people like us. I mean, we all enjoy social experiences. Some of us even depend on social experiences. I certainly do. If I become alone, I start going sort of almost mental. It's weird as fuck. Like, I can't do it. That's why a lot of the time I go out and I walk. I just try and clear my head out of everything like that, because if I sit alone in a room for a long period of time, not really talking to anyone or anything like that, it starts to get to me pretty hard. And I have to go and sort of relieve all that. I'm very socially dependent, which it's been pretty hard for me through life doing that, because I grew up in the country and we lived in a village where there's absolutely fuck all people. So actually having social experience was very difficult. It's the main reason I got into gaming, because I had to have a way that without sort of leaving the house with that, because there's nothing out there that I could socialise with people. So I went through gaming and sort of the internet and media and things like that, and I use that as my sort of the way for me to socialise with people, and it's worked pretty well. My stepdad hates that I do it, but I don't really see that I've had too much choice. I haven't really eased up on it either. It's something I've carried through quite strongly. It's something I'd like to think I've become reasonably good at as well, but that's why I got into gaming anyway, in case that was ever a question that you had. But the point I was making was the sort of the social conformism, the way that we adapt our lifestyle into what we think people want our lifestyle to be, sort of the way we think people are going to like us. So you have to ask who you really are, don't you? So you look at the things that you do, and why am I doing that? Like, am I doing this because I want to do this, or because I think someone else wants me to do it, or because I'm going to be better off socially if I do it? You could end up doing things that you really don't enjoy just because socially it gives you more opportunity, or socially it's just better off for you. Such as drinking beer. Drinking beer is something that I do, and personally I do enjoy the taste of beer. I do enjoy drinking beer anyway, but I know a lot of people that don't. They or haven't done previously, like before they drunk a lot of it, and they thought this is actually discussing stuff. Why do people drink this? It's like, well, it's just the cheapest way to get pissed, really. And then they got pissed and they enjoyed being pissed, and they enjoyed the sort of everything that you enjoy about being pissed, really. Like, as pointless me describing to it, most of you will probably know what it feels like. And as a result, they just drank beer and beer and beer and beer and beer until eventually they liked it. And someone described it to me once as pretty much Stockholm syndrome, which I think was kind of fitting, to be honest. You go through something that you absolutely hate until eventually that you associate it with something so strongly that you just form a sort of bond to it. And it's quite amusing that people will go through that, and sort of just so that they get something that they want, like socially, they'll go through loads of stuff that they don't, personally. And it's kind of odd how people do it, and I do wonder how often people do it, and to what extent. Because you think through to it, and you sort of go, well, so people are trying to act a certain way because they think that people want them to act a certain way. So what makes them think that people want them to act that certain way? So, like, if I think that everyone wants me as a sort of 21 almost year old man, I'm supposed to have sort of looking to get a job, but to be social into areas. I'm supposed to be into education. I'm supposed to wear fashionable clothes, listen to popular music, watch popular films, go out on a regular basis, have short hair and shave properly and things like that, like things that were in the list there. Like, why is that what we think should happen? Like, why don't we think it's appropriate for everyone to sit inside and not watch any media, avoid media, do all the possible drugs that the law is made to be broken, that we should be as hairy and unattractive as possible? Like, why do we not think that way? I mean, obviously it becomes fairly preposterous thinking about it, but to a smaller extent, if I was to quote a sort of lesser example there, do we think that we're supposed to think people want us to be a particular way because we feel people want us to think that we want people to want us to be a particular way, if you manage to follow that? So sort of the way in which we want to be perceived, do we only want to be perceived that way because we perceive that we should want to be perceived that way? If we try and be that, will people like us more even if we don't succeed? Is that what we're going for? To which you have to ask yourself the same question as the last time to conclude the video, really. For the past however many years we've been trying to attain this lifestyle into which everyone will really like us, the way we've been trying to go out of there and possibly completely change the person that we really want to be to the point where we enjoy being who originally we didn't want to be. And we've been doing that for so long, trying to conform into this lifestyle. What are we doing with our lives again? Why? Why are we doing all of this?